Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and helps support the show. As always, today's video is also brought to you by the like button. Press it because it helps me continue making videos. What's up, Planeswalkers? Theorex back for more Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we're playing more Historic because it's a fun format. Hopefully Wizards will recognize this and let us use it more. Today we're going to be playing a Waste Not deck. This is a discard-centric deck, and this is the Grixis version that I've decided to build first. I will say that I split these up into two different versions, so the way I make decks is I put essentially all of the cards into one, clone it, delete some cards that don't make sense. So for example, all of the non-mono black cards are going to be deleted from this, but I think there's an interesting version in mono black here, where you have, Waste Not, Underworld Dreams as well to punish draws, and then things like Grey Merchant of Asphodel. So I think there's a mono black version here somewhere, but today I'm going to focus on the Grixis version because it's playing Nicol Bolas. That's pretty much why I wanted to play more Bolas, because it's never a bad time to play Bolas. Plus, we get to see more Angrath. Angrath was a favorite on the channel, so people want to see Angrath back. So I'm here to deliver. We're gonna just go through all the cards. We're gonna start with only 2 Duress, and the reason we're only doing 2 Duress here is because Duress is technically limited in its scope. If we're up against a mono red deck, yes, we might be able to hit an Embercleave or something, but if we're just against, red deck wins or, any other super aggressive creature-based red deck, Duress is not gonna help us. Same thing for a green Stompy deck. So I decided only on 2 Duresses. It also allows us to have a little bit more freedom in our life total, since we're going to be dealing with a lot of shocks and or check lands on turn 1. 3 Burglar Rats. It's not the strongest of discard spells, but the reason I decided to go with specifically 3 Burglar Rats is that it does force a discard, which is kind of what the deck wants to do, but also it's a body. A body that we will shove in front of anything that's trying to hit me in the face. 3 Kroxa. It's Kroxa. We're playing discard. We're playing Grixis deck. Let's throw it in here. I chose to stay away from Lazav, and the reason for that is essentially that Lazav would only really be able to copy Bolas or Kroxa. I don't really see a reason. Like, Bolas, there's not really a reason to. You don't get the ETB on it. And Kroxa, sure. But I didn't want to put too many of my eggs into one basket. So I think Kroxa by itself is fine. 4 Waste Nots, the namesake of the deck. Should this be technically at 4? Probably not, to be honest. It might be better at 3. But I'm playing a deck named after this card. I'm going to play 4 of them. Whenever an opponent discards a creature, we get a 2/2. It's great to beat them down, or block. Whenever they discard a land, we get to add black. Kind of the weakest of the options, unless when playing this deck, if you're planning on making them discard and you have Waste Not out, you make them discard first with something that's on board. So if you have an Angrath or a Davriel, you're going to want to cast, you want to use that ability before you end up actually casting something from your hand, because you might be able to get the mana from Waste Not, whereas if you did the card from hand first, then you might lose some mana. And of course, whenever an opponent discards a non-creature, non-land card, you get to draw a card. Refuels us. Fantastic. One of the issues with discard-centric decks is that they can run out of gas along with the opponent. They both go into top deck mode. It's not the best. 4 Thought Erasures. The best of the discard spells on Arena, bar none. It also allows us to surveil, put some nonsense in our graveyard. Maybe we need to feed our Kroxa. Boom. 2 Angrath Rampage. I have noticed, and I've made a slight change to the deck as I naturally built it, I've noticed a decent amount of artifact decks running around. Angrath Rampage helps against that. Also helps against early Planeswalkers, and it just hits creatures. It's a good card. It's a good card. 1 Murderous Rider and 2 Bedevils. I initially had this as 3 Murderous Riders, no Bedevils. Then I thought for a little bit. I was like, well, there are a couple of cards that you can probably justify Bedevil for, artifacts, blah, blah, blah. So I went up to 1 Bedevil, 1 Murderous Rider. The first practice match I had against was artifacts, and then I was like, oh right, there are actually a lot of reasons to play artifacts. So I went to 2 and 1. The reason I decided to go with the split is because I still wanted the ability to have some sort of life gain creature, whereas, sometimes we're not going to want to use the destruction ability. We might just need a 2/3 blocker. or 2/3 attacker for what it's worth. Davriel Rogue Shadowmage. It makes our opponent discard cards, and it's our rack effect. The rack is essentially this static ability, but on an artifact that costs 1. This one, you know, we have to pay 1 and a black more, but we at least have a Planeswalker and force discards. 2, Elspeth Nightmare. Actually fantastic in this deck. We get to destroy another creature, helps us not die, or helps stop our opponent from, like, ramping or whatever. We force them to discard a non-creature, non-land card. We essentially duress them. Sounds fine to me. And then we get to exile the graveyard. Since we're, you know, playing Historic, there are some graveyard decks running around. Our deck puts things there, and that's often not the best. I was initially going to run Bojuka Bog, but I wasn't comfortable with the mana base with it in there, so I kind of backpedaled from that. A better player than myself, a better deck builder than myself, can probably squeeze in 1 or 2 Bojuka Bogs into the mana base and still make it work, but I'm not that great. 3, Bolas. ETBs, your opponent discards a card. It also is a 4-mana 4/4 flyer. That's great. If you transform it, that's gravy. 2, Ritual of Soot. Sometimes our opponent plays lots of garbage, and we want it to go away. 2, Carnival Carnage. This is essentially to help against Llanowar Elf decks. Anything really that is going turn 1, X1. We want to be able to nip that in the butt real quick. And then, of course, Carnage is helpful later in the game. Not only is just a way to deal 3 extra damage to our opponent, but possibly just discard 2 cards from our control opponents. So the Carnage side is still fine against a more aggressive or mid-range strategy if we're drawing it late and we can't really do anything with the Carnival side. But it really does shine against the control decks. 1, Eldest Reborn. Well, the second lore counter makes your opponent discard a card, which is cool, but also it's the Eldest Reborn, and I wanted to play it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Leave? Please don't. And then last but certainly not least, 2 Angrath, the Flame Chained. We got a 5-mana 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. So if we have Davriel out and Waste Not, make them discard. They lose 2 from that. Waste Not, let's say, gives us a zombie token. That's 2 more Dabblage. That was maybe the second to last card in their hand. Our opponent down to 1 card. On upkeep, they take 2 more damage. That's 6 damage from 1 round of nonsense going on. Love it. -3, you get to steal a creature for the turn. If that creature is small, it dies. And then -8, we get to murder our opponent. Unless we've exiled the graveyard. But still. This is our mana base. I remember, okay, really quick side tangent. It's fine. It's only been 40 minutes. 7 minutes and 40 seconds. People were like poo-pooing these lands when they were coming because like the big reason that everyone loved these lands is because of the gold trim. And I think they did a fantastic job of incorporating the gold trim into these cards. They just look phenomenal in hand and on board. And so I've essentially adopted them as my new favorites. Like, it's really difficult. So I did say our first matchup was against mono blue artifacts. And we were able to crush them to death because of Elspeth's Nightmare. We were able to we had Angrath, Rampage, and Bedevil. So it was very kind of important. This hand is decent. Now, you might be saying, like, it only has 2 lands. But Waste Not should help us a lot with that. So I will likely Kroxa on turn 2, or on turn 3. So we definitely Waste Not. If we don't draw a land, we Kroxa. If we do, we play Dav. Unless our opponent plays a creature, in which case I think we still play Kroxa. I'm not entirely sure, but we definitely, turn 2, we play Waste Not. Now, our opponent is on Elspeth Ashiok, so there's a bit of cognitive dissonance. My guess is that they love their family, they just feel like they're not really a part of it, you know? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, are my nails, like, too long? I feel like maybe I should cut my nails, but at the same time, I like them. So now if our opponent forces us to discard any of this, we're kind of fine with it. We don't love it, but we're kind of fine with it. Sultai, okay. I wouldn't be surprised by a Thought Erasure. A Brain Maggot. Interesting. I don't know what they take. Probably Davriel is my guess. They take the Rampage, which is, for what it's worth, a smart choice. Carnival, shoot. So, I think I'm going to Kroxa. Yeah, I'm going to Kroxa because it's the most efficient. If our opponent discards a land, then we get to play Burglar Rat. If they don't, if they discard a creature, then we have a 2/2, which is okay. And if they discard a non-land and non-creature, then we get to draw a card and hopefully get a land, which we can use to Carnival the Brain Maggot at the end of my opponent's turn. So let's see what my opponent's on. My opponent knows the majority of my hand. So they really can make the most informed decision possible. But no matter what happens, I'm going to get some value. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't draw another land. Dems are the breaks. Hopefully we draw a land this coming up turn. So Sultai... And this, I mean, the best thing about this is this format is like wide open. This looks like maybe it's Sultai Enchantments. And that would just be fucking cool. Like, mad respect to that. Yep. I take one Dabblage. Another Waste Knot. Not what I was looking for. Duress. I would essentially be forcing myself to draw another card. So I'm just going to Burglar Rats. Got a land. That's fucking nice. So I think I'm going to Duress here. Okay, interesting. I'm definitely going to kill this, though. Okay. The thing is, we're still at 2 lands, and we're not in a terrible spot. We're not in a great spot. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell straight up lies. But we're not in a bad spot. It could be worse, as they say. Yeah, you're playing Nylea? Sure, sure. You might as well hit me for 2. That's fine. I think I just Rampage the Dryad here. Cast another Waste Knot, but I think at this point, most of my discard is kind of irrelevant. It's possible I should... Can't Thought Erasure, don't have another black. Awkward. So yeah, I believe between Waste Knot and Angrath Rampage, I'm going to go with the Rampage. Sacrifice a creature. Go away, please. And it'll attack for 1. Gotta get that damage in somehow. Could use 1 more land to get a Davriel. Interesting that they didn't do that on my turn. Nissa? Okay.
Power surges through these lands. Behold, nature's true power.
For the number of turns where we haven't gotten another land, I'm still going to say that could have been worse. Note to self, never keep 2-landers. So the thing is, right, I was planning on going to 25 after I realized that I had 24 in the artifact matchup. But I flooded hard. Like, not even a little. It was a lot. And I was like, okay, well, it probably means since I'm going through my deck, it's fine. I should probably be running 25 lands. Grixian Mage, if my opponent... First of all, it's not Grixian. It's just Grixis Mage. Second of all, if my opponent is not playing Grixis, I will be offended. We keep these. We don't have the Thought Erasure mana, but we, Carnival, Elspeth, Nightmare, Murderous Rider. Like, this is what I would like to call a reasonable hand. Also, it's 3-lander, so shut up. Do I play the Dragonskull Summit? No. And the reason I don't play Dragonskull Summit is, 1, I want to be able to kill... Okay, my opponent's not playing anything. But 2, if I top deck a Drowned Catacomb, I'd want to be able to play it and erase some thoughts. Alright, well, it worked out. Let's see what my opponent has here. What the hell is this? Okay, well, I can kill Dryad. So I think I just get rid of Fires. Fires is the one card that I can't really deal with. Angrath Rampage is also great. Can use this to get rid of Karn. Double black card. What the hell? Oh, it's Jund, obviously. Come on. It's obviously Jund. So we're going to go with the Summit into Nightmare. Yeah, typically, even a single mulligan against a discard deck is hard to come back from. We'll see what our opponent grabs here.
My purpose is greater than my
But I have a Rampage. I'm very curious to see what my opponent grabs here. They grab a Golos. I'll take the Cry because I can't take the Golos. They can get another artifact. But I kind of like the idea of carnaging those cards out of their hands. Because next turn, I can Rampage Rider, or I can Rampage Dav. So I think I'm going to go with the Carnage. Okay, it's a tapped land, so opponent can get a 4-drop if they want to cast it now. Frankly, they should get something that they can cast now. Because if they get something that they can't cast now, I'm going to get rid of it. I mean, I'm still going to get rid of it. Okay, so that's gone. Do I care about Karn right now? I don't think I care about Karn right now. So I think I'm going to go Swamp Dav. Rampage the Lantern. Do I care about Rampaging the Lantern?
I'll have to order 20.
Dav, I don't know what you said. Do I care about the Lantern? No, I don't think I care about the Lantern. And now we slowly kill our opponent.
Ooh, sorry. Not really.
Got a Ritual of Soot to deal with the field field of the dead tokens if they ever get out of control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. So there's still 2 lands away. 1 land away. Firstly, this does threaten my Davriel. Never mind, it threatens nothing now. And we just slowly murder them.
What a whiner.
Okay, let's see if they get the 7th land that they need. Because it has to be different. 1, 2, yeah. And they do. Good for them. They get a zombie. Put that on the bottom. And I think, honestly, I'd probably just pull the trigger on this ritual now. Yeah, I think I pull the trigger on this ritual now. Hit them for 4, then they take an additional 2. They go down to 5, and they die next turn. We win. Check. Mate. Until they pop something out of their ass. Casualties of War would delay them losing by a little bit, so Casualties of War would help. Massacre Girl. Not good enough, my friend. Not good enough.
Loneliness can hurt.
Cool. Didn't do Showcase Waste Not that game, but note to self, do not keep Dual Landers. Even if they have Waste Not. I'm still going to stand by it. It turned out better than it could have. All I'm saying. All I'm saying. Oh, another thing. Matthias NL. I feel like that might be an actual person. This hand is fine. Yeah, we Fabled Passage for a swamp. Have Thought Erasure, Devil. Yeah, okay. We don't show them anything just yet. this be over here? Yeah. What is this card? Put your guesses in now. You're wrong. It's blank. I'll talk about that in a second. Ah, Esper Hero, you say? Well, I'm going to get rid of their Thought Erasure. That's a Duress. Is Duress worth it? I'm going to say no, and here's why. Technically, next turn I can play my Fabled Passage, get a mountain, and Duress my opponent. I need a fourth land. Preferably one that can come and untap next turn so I can Elspeth Nightmare the first hero. I don't know, I still like that. But yeah, I think I'm doing that. Could be wrong. I feel like it's right. Sure. Fucking asking you shall receive. We even got the... Oh, no. We even got the mountain. Make the smart plays, not the cool plays. So, this is a foil blank that I made myself. This one is one I'm particularly proud of because... Give me a second. Ooh. Oath of Kite. I mean, we take the fairy. Do I just kill the hero? I mean, I guess, right? Yeah, I think we just killed the hero. I could also just Carnage my opponent. Which obviously wouldn't be the best because, like, I mean, okay, if I Carnage my opponent, no, I mean, fuck it. Like, if my opponent has to make an awful decision, and I'm gonna let them possibly mess it up. I'm just gonna get another swamp here. I think it's right to Carnage my opponent. They're praying for a top deck, and they didn't get it. So I am going to... So I can Angrath here. And plus, or I can Waste Not, Bedevil something. I think I'm going to Angrath plus. This gets rid of the potential that they top deck a land into Atris. It does put Angrath into danger. Goes to 1. Okay. I'll play Waste Not. Plus.
No fire, no steel.
Play Blood Crypt tapped. Pass the turn. We'll see if my opponent gets greedy and only attacks 1 at Angrath. Nope, they attack both. Very smart play from my opponent. I'm gonna let it happen because Angrath will die regardless, and I want to be able to kill something else potentially. Yeah, I think I'm still going to go and do this. This is very helpful. Just because we have a strong card. Cool. And we have Davriel. And I have that up.
I'm bored already.
If I top deck another land, I will be able to flip Bolas, which is great. The question, though, is would I flip Bolas and get Angrath, or would I flip Bolas and get Atros? Okay. So this is fine. The reason I say Bedevil is because I wanted to be able to just straight up kill Teferi.
Right on schedule. Stop that. Now.
That's okay.
Reverse.
I just don't want Teferi to live anymore. My Davriel is going to die. One of my Ritual of Soot would be top tier here. I don't know how to prove to you that I don't, like, pre-record these and then just, like, put in extra is just me, bro. I don't know. So obviously we play Nikki B here. And if we get a chance to flip Nikki B, we're taking Teferi. Another one where we got there. Waste not, once again, not really doing much, but when you build a powerful deck and you put cards that synergize in it, sometimes the rest of it's gonna be fine. I hate this owl. It's ugly. Let's pop another one off. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, right. I meant to show you a bunch of these things. So yeah, these foil blanks, essentially you take a foil, and what you can sometimes do, and I don't have a finished one because I haven't decided to... Shit. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not the best. But yeah, this one was like, for some reason, I think the alcohol that I have is not as good here, but essentially you take rubbing alcohol, and you safely, in a well-ventilated area, wearing gloves, you essentially just rub off the paint. And then you'll have this nice, shiny, foily bit underneath. And it's a foil blank that you can use for a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna Burglar Rat. Just have something on the ground, see what my opponent's working with. They're on green, but it could be green something. And I'm trying to know. But sometimes, if you just get out of the corner, okay, so it's at least Gruul, you can actually just peel off the entire foil layer, and you'll have a little, like, nice, smooth bit here. Shit. Okay. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. Sometimes, though, you will, and a lot of these look super different because they were all done at, like, different times. But these are all matte. Like, these don't have a shiny thing. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can see the difference. Right? And the reason for that, I'm going to go ahead and block that. I would love to get a ritual. Well, I need a land, but we'll see what happens. But Devil that I can't cast. I think I might want to Davriel, because it diverts some damage. So I'm going to Davriel -1 and...
If you surrender now,
yeah, it'll divert some damage for me.
Let me pick your brain for a minute.
It's very unfortunate that this is the matchup where I kept a little bit more of a greedy hand. But Kesslaby. But yeah, so these I pulled more up. Like, this is, if you're holding it in your hand, you can feel that this is thicker. This is the shiny one. This is thicker than this. And when you just have the entire thing, just the paint layer off, it's even thicker. So you can feel it. Also, this is just garbage. Not only am I not drawing more lands, I'm drawing actual trash. I would love to draw a land so I can play my Nikki B. Shit. Nah, I just need a land into, like, Ritual of Soot. That's, like, the only thing that I think even comes close to saving me. No, I'm dead. Why didn't my opponent cast that? I mean, I died anyway. Yeah, mana base is not where I want it to be, as I said. So for what it's worth, I did this, I think, when I was in high school. When I had a lot more time. And I had, like, nothing to do, because Arena wasn't a thing yet. Another thing that I did in high school is I literally Sharpied. I'm very sorry. To all of you watching this. I Sharpied some cards. I essentially just, like, Sharpied the edge of them. Now, like, from a distance, you can't tell how bad this is. But, like, when you're looking close, this hand is keepable. I don't love it. We have technically something on 1 and 3. Or 3, 4, and 5, so I'll keep this. Sacrifice a goblin. Okay, I'm horrified. They can go up to 3 mana next turn. Because they can play a mountain and then sack this and have just a stupid-ass card. I am going to pay 2 life to get this off the board. And they can sack it and shock me. That's fine. I don't want to have like a Legion War Boss or whatever, or Krenko on turn 2. I am not currently equipped to handle that. I have a Kroxa. I can play Kroxa next turn. That's fine with me. But I'll be damned if I allow for a War Boss or some nonsense. I assume my opponent's playing Goblins. Oh, maybe they're playing a combo deck. Oh, I can bring back the combo decks that I've played in the past. They're playing Goblins. But yeah, like if you look closely, like you can see where the Sharpie like bleeds. I did use tape, but man. But yeah, my opponent could have played this on turn 2. Like, nah. I ain't having that shit. Let's see. So this gives haste. So if I play Dab, Dab just dies. So I think what I do is I take some Dabblage, which I don't want to do, but I will do. And then I hold up Bedevil for their War Chief, the Goblin Lord. You cast Ringleader instead. Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna let them do that first. Oh wow, okay. Gobbos. Gobbos, Gobbos, Gobbos. I take 3? Okay, I'll take 3. Okay, that's helpful. The issue is I need to hold up my Bedevil for this now. And they're not going to play it even. If they play a land, they can play War Chief plus War Boss. They have green? Where does green shit come from? Alright, Grumgully has to die. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Fuck ass. Shit. Fuck. Sack Matron. Sack Ringleader. Get War Chief? Is this non-token? No, just non-human. Sure. Have your Prospector. Sure. Come on down, motherfuckers. Shit. For what it's worth, I love that there's a playable Goblins deck. Ominous Shadow. I like it. Okay, I'll take 3. Get Angrath plus to get some heat off me? Then next turn, Davriel plus Nightmare, although Davriel's probably not going to matter. 4, 5, 6. And I think I plus here.
Ever seen water burn?
Ever see water burn?
No fire.
Just because I want
no
to
steel.
like maximize my opponent just being distracted. I assume they're going to get rid of War Leader. Yeah, okay. So I'm hoping Angrath saves me 5 life. It's very possible my opponent hits me for 6 here. I was afraid of that. Top deck, a Ritual of Soot, baby. That is not a Ritual of Soot, you asshole. Okay, well I can cast this. Use this, see what my opponent has.
No fire, no steel.
It's just a land, which is not the best. Because I believe I am dead. No, I could have done that differently. Oh, fuck me. My opponent might have protected themselves from it. I should have Angrath -3'd, cast Davriel to -1 to get the card out of their hand. If it would have been a land, I would have then been able to play Elspeth's Nightmare on the Ringleader. I would have had a blocker. They would have been down 2 goblins. No. Oh, I see it now. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Oh, man. 3 mana. Davriel. No, first thing I would have done, first thing I should have done is steal the War Boss. That's the first thing I should have done. Then I should have used Davriel. To minus, would have gotten rid of that card. Either I get to draw another card, which is sure, whatever. Or I would have gotten another blocker, because I would have 2 blockers at that point, and they would still have 4 creatures. Yes. Or I would get the extra land, or get the extra mana, and I can Elspeth's Nightmare to kill one of those things off. If I had to, I could have even played the Watery Grave to play the second card as well. Ugh. Learning. Historic. This is what I love about this format, damn it. I have to think more. I'm losing because I'm not thinking properly. Oh, fantastic. I love it. I'm so happy. I love when I lose because I'm dumb and I mess something up. Like, or when my opponent like outplays me. Like, those are the ways that I play this game. It's so good. Is there any other nonsense that I want to talk about here? Oh, I had a couple like actual cards. I did a Giant Growth and Jace's Eraser for some reason. Don't ask why. I was curious. Art was fun. I don't know. That was that video. I enjoyed myself. I showed off some of my youth arts and crafts. I got to show off a cool deck. Cool. I forgot that Arena needs to fix this bug. It's very bothersome. Whenever I click off of Arena, it's the music just, all of the sounds just stop. It's like, all right, fuck you. It is a bug. There's an option in the menu. It doesn't actually work. But yeah, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Zen, for continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links to that down in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to our mana pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, pass the turn and the video to some of your friends, and of course, until next time, all will be one.